Hey guys, welcome to Kipoerneke's Corner. I'm over in EverQuest Legends at the moment, and I was amused by the fact that the background noise in Greater Faydark over here was kind of overwhelming the intro music on that screen. I'm not sure how to prevent that from happening. Beyond just changing the volume on the game during the intro screen thing. But anyway, here we are, wandering around in Greater Faydark, and I think my goal when last I was in was just to get some of that bat fur. Also, my headphones trying to slide off today. It's been a whole thing. Okay, but I have 5 bat fur at the moment. I think I needed like 30 more bat fur, I want to say, before I could get my faction with those guys. So we're gonna search for some more bats. I really feel like the southeast corner was the best spot for them, but there are bats kind of all over the place. So there's one right there, as a matter of fact. And otherwise, I want to go and check and see if we have anybody, any of our friends on at the moment. Just see that little lag spike? Very interesting. I don't know if it was an internet issue or if it was a game issue. There was definitely a little lag spike there for a second. Okay. Oh, I have a water flask of some kind. Is it a pod or is it a flask? It's a pod of water. I feel like, yeah, okay, I did have a small stack of those starting. I also have a brownie torso that I got in a drop yesterday. And I have no idea what I would want to do with the brownie torso. Oddly, the brownie torso, it looks very odd. It looks kind of like, I don't know, a centipede or something. I'm not sure. Ah, I see that it is not showing my screen. There we go. I clicked the wrong button. Well, great. I'll tell you what, it is, I see exactly what has happened here. Okay, got it. I had pressed a button before I got off of that screen over there. That's unfortunate. Ah, man, I'll tell you, I've been doing a lot of things today, and things have not gone swimmingly overall. It's just one of those days I fear. All right. In that case, let's look some more for some bats. And I'm going to come over here and try to go to players. We're going to go to the friends list. I don't know if there's a quick way to get to the friends list in EverQuest. You can click Y, and it takes you to the friends screen there. But in this, I can tell you that Y doesn't work because I've tried it. Let me see here. Hold on. Maybe there's maybe it'll tell me. I go here. Okay, Alt F is the one that we need to use to pull up the screen very quickly. Looks like no one is on right now out of my very short friends list. All right, man. Not doing super well at finding the bats. Gotten one so far. Need quite a bit more than that. All right, got a Faydrake hatchling over there. It's not exactly what I'm going for. Later on, the bard gets tracked, and that would probably make things a lot easier. But as it is, I do not have track, and therefore I have to just run around clicking the tab to see if we can get any, or see if we can find any more manually. Okay, it's not looking great. Now, one option is if I went over the whole place and then I switched to a different difficulty. So say right now I'm in difficulty level 0. I could go to difficulty level 1, for instance, and we'd have a new set of things on the in the zone because it's a different instance. So that might be the way that I want to go in a minute. Not sure. Definitely a very strong shortage of bats so far. Had a few wasps. I think I saw a couple of drakelings, and of course there have been the usual wolves and things of that nature. But the bats are just... There's one. I think that's going to be a giant bat, though. And I don't think the giant bats... yeah, it's a giant sylvan bat. I think they give giant bat fur. I don't think that the giant bat fur will work. I think it has to be regular bat fur for the guy. Of course, I could be wrong. I can always be wrong. That's the great part about that. But I'm fairly certain that the giant bat fur doesn't work. Getting all kinds of messages and whatnot on my phone over here. Sorry about that. More of the wasps flying around here. Let's see, where am I at right now? Okay, I'm right by Crushbone. I don't think there are any bats in Crushbone, so no sense in going there. I wonder if that shaman will attack me. It doesn't look like it. I am stuck in combat though, so I've pressed the Q to get out. It's just not looking particularly promising over here. Plenty of ground creatures. There we are. There's a large sylvan bat. That ought to be helpful. That orc is attacking me. I don't really care about that so much right now. We're gonna come get a dot on this bat, and then we can put something on the centurion as well. But mostly hunting the bats, not really caring a lot about the centurions. Or really the orcs in general. If you know, if I see one, and it attacks me, then I guess I may as well kill it, but otherwise I don't really have a lot of incentive to go after them. Stuck in combat again, so we click Q and we get out of combat. Wasp there. So, pretty slim pickings, honestly. I could go across the middle here, and I've been in a circle around the place, and but I haven't been across the center, so let's go ahead and try that direction, see if we can find anything hanging out among the treetops, perhaps, who knows. I feel like maybe somebody else has already come and hunted for bats in this area. Maybe they realized, hey, you can actually turn these things in and get faction with the merchants. Possibly. Ah, we found a couple of them here. Where are we at? Alright, we're close to a lift. Almost in the center of where Kellethan is, really. Alright, found a couple of bats, not a ton of them. Bat wing. Yeah, I don't know. Overall, it's still not exactly selling me on this instance of, or on this difficulty level, I suppose. I think I'm going to go ahead and switch over to a different difficulty level and see if we can find something over there. Well, let's do it. Let's go to difficulty 1. I don't think that the difficulty level is going to matter as far as like the actual difficulty for me per se, because I'm you know, much higher level than these things. They're gray to me. I suspect they're going to die pretty easily regardless, and I don't think that the loot is going to matter. Where did it spawn me? Right here in the center. Not too bad. Yeah, I don't think that the loot drops are going to change significantly as a result of changing. I just think, well, maybe there's more bats in this instance than there was in that one. Who knows? Let's head toward the southeast area over here, where I know there are often bats near Felwithe, and see if we have any. I feel like you have to wait like 5 minutes before changing the difficulty level again, and that may not be right, but it's something like that. It's around 5 minutes, I think. So you can't just change and then immediately change again. But I should definitely be able to change and hunt for bats and then change again. Should be heading the correct direction for Felwithe. Hopefully for those bats, we'll see. Got a drakeling. Not quite the same thing. It's kind of interesting because most of these things down here drop something worthwhile. You know, whether it's the faction or the parts for building faction, or trade skill stuff, trade skill supplies, I should say, I suppose. Something of that nature seems to come from these guys. Alright, so we got a couple of bats there. Here's another one. Alright, cool. Definitely hit more of the bats in this area, or in this difficulty level, than I did in the last one. Don't know that we've gotten any bat fur. No, still at 5 there. Above the chemist says the quest for bat fur continues. Have you tried the newbie areas in Steamfont or Butcher Block to see if there are fur-laden bats there? I have not. I think, you know, as I ran across Butcher Block to get here, I don't recall seeing a lot of bats, but there very well could be. That being said, the newbie areas, you say, I'm not really sure where the newbie areas are. Would it be near Caladim, perhaps? I have not gone and searched. You know, I'm close to Lesser Faydark here. I don't know if there are bats in Lesser Faydark or not, but I can go and have a look over there since I'm nearby, right? I'm pretty sure there aren't any in Crushbone. I was there fairly recently. I don't remember there being bats. Lots of orcs, not much in the way of bats. Yes, it is bad at first. I thought that my eyes had played tricks on me and it was just another wasp. But no, it turns out my eyes played tricks on me the second time and it was actually a bat. Gotta grab it. Take a while to get these good, right? Above the chemist said the areas around the entrances, Caladim and Ak'Anon. I know where Caladim is. I'm not really sure where Ak'Anon is in Steamfont. Is that the place, or like to the south in Steamfont? You can pop into Lesser Faydark here and see if there are any there along the way to the Steamfont Mountains. Taking a moment to zone in, it seems. All right, let's see if there are any hanging out around this area before I head on over to the Steamfont Mountains. There's a lot of fog here, definitely. I don't know what I'll do after I find Batfur, goodness. I mean, obviously I'll turn that in, and then what? Then what? Next goal? Who knows? I haven't thought that far ahead. We got drakes. Alright, we'll head towards Steamfont now. I'm not really, I mean, I feel like there should probably be some bats here. It's very foggy. It's very, I don't know. Feels like bats could definitely lurk within these realms. Now, I remember that going to Steamfont Mountains, there's a group of guys who will attack you from those little houses right there. And they're significantly higher level than me, and they're very good at killing me. So, avoiding it is the best policy. Above the chemist says, yes, Ak'Anon is in the south of Steamfont. All right, so that is the little village there of individuals who hate me. Yes. Maybe they hate me less by now. I don't know. I'm not sure what we kill. You know what? I think maybe I heard something about killing minotaurs. I don't know if that was for faction with them or not. But killing minotaurs gives you faction with somebody. From what I understand. Now, where are minotaurs? I don't know. I also still haven't gone over to the other place. Whatever it's called. I'll think of it. Gorge of Zort or something like that. To find those Muddites. And I do want to do that at some point. Alright. Heading toward... Oh, yes. Okay. It says to Ak'Anon there at the bottom. Okay. Cool, cool. I had actually assumed that the city was right there where the spells guy and the tailor and all that is. But apparently you actually zone into a city called Ak'Anon. Here we have Watchman Grek, and if we do a consider on him, you see he looks at us threateningly. And he has one sword, which I know that you guys said that 2 swords meant they would attack, and I feel like probably 1 sword might also attack. I'm not sure. We've got some bandits out here. Some of them are named. They're all 3 named. Oh, they're coming for me. All right, well, what do we have? We have a rogue. We definitely need to... I don't have my slow spell. What else do we have? Are they all rogues? They're all rogues. What a shame. Alright, well, let's see. I accidentally put the same thing on him again as I did before. I think this might be the root. Maybe. Yes, that was a root. Excellent. Don't know if I've used my root yet. Why do I keep casting the same dot on him? That's the real question. Alright. Let's see if we can slam this guy and all that. I don't think that the rogues cast anything, but maybe they do. I don't remember. If I see one casting, then I will go try to interrupt him. We have all kinds of things here popping up on this window in the way of viewing. So, let's see what it is. We've got a fine steel dagger, fine steel katana, Hector's severed head, fine steel dagger, fine steel spear, and Ronaldo's severed head. Will we now also get Gerald's severed head? Probably. It looks like it to me. There it is. Gerald's severed head along with fine steel rapier. Alright, well, let's go with auto merge on these items. And obviously then I have to loot it. Not just auto merge the same thing over and over again. I don't know. I'm crazy sometimes. That's all I can say. Let's loot the head. And then we're going to merge this thing. We're going to put auto merge on this and then loot. Now we've got another head. We'll loot. And now auto merge and loot. And then loot. There we go. Lots of severed heads. Not sure what to do with them. Surely they're good for something, though. They've probably been accosting the royalty or something like that, and they needed to be taken out. Now we've done it. All we have to do is find the royalty that they were bothering, and surely that's the answer here, right? We may have just killed Robin Hood, though. I'm not sure. For all we know, Gerald was hanging out, robbing from the rich, given to the poor. Now, personally, not all about the whole thing, the whole robbing from people to give to other people. It's not really my technique. The music here is definitely different. Above the chemist says in the southwest is a druid circle. I think that is generally the newbie area and it's pretty safe. In the southwest, alright, southwest, over by the cleric with the spells perhaps. But here we have a little hovel. There's a little dude inside the hovel. Let's see if he hates us. He glowers at me dubiously. Probably he hates us, so we shall not hang out with him. All of them are unhappy with my presence, I think. So, let's head on toward the southwesterly area. Haven't seen any bats yet. I'll point that out. We have some geysers here, I think, which makes some sense because in EverQuest 2 and Steamfont Mountains there are geysers. Let's see if this guy hates us. He also glowers at me dubiously. If I get close to him, will he attack me? That's the question. Let's see. He doesn't hate me that badly. And walking through the... It's not really a geyser, is it? What is it? Don't seem to be taking damage from it, as far as I can tell. I don't know. No idea. Alright. Seems to be geysers, but then you walk up... Ah, steam vents. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be steam vents, right? It would be geysers if it was in the water. It would cause a geyser, but there's no water, so it's just a steam vent. Alright, cool. Got some mountain lions and coyotes and things of that nature. Got some drakelings running around. There's a runaway clockwork. I think we can kill that and see if it gives me any faction stuff. Alright, it did. We got... It's not a good thing, looks like. Our faction standing with defective clockwork has been adjusted by -5. So, that's a shame. Here we have Black Box Fragment. micro servo, and saltpeter. Let's try auto store on these items. And none of these, except for the saltpeter, will actually auto store because the rest of my stuff is full. I guess I can loot those. Why not? Probably should have just sold them, honestly. So, a decaying gnome skeleton. I feel like I've got to kill the decaying gnome skeleton. That ought, you would think, to give me some good faction with the gnomish people, because, I mean, if I was a gnome, and there were a bunch of my people running around all zombie-like, I think I would appreciate it if somebody would do something about that, you know? Like, I don't really like my friends and family running around as decaying corpses, so, I don't know, feels like it would be nice. However, it does not seem to have affected my faction in the slightest to kill him, so what a shame. I have no bats that I've found here. So I fear that this is not the area for the bat stuff. Now you said there's a druid circle. Did I guess that's where I was. Yeah, that's where I just was. Nothing there. We can head to the northwest and see if there's anything. There's a little cluster of something over there. We can see if there's anything exciting. Rogue cleaners run around. And a female rat. I feel like we should kill the female rat. That's going to prevent a lot of rat population explosion from happening, so gonna do that. Got some Crag warriors, cobalt scouts. So the Crag are I think they're the aviac. Got a spider hanging out over here. Still not seeing. There's another female rat. This is interesting. Are there male rats or are there only females? If there are only females, then we're not doing anything to the rat population. One way or the other. Oh, hey, look. We've been attacked by a plague rat and stuff, too. Didn't even know it. Giant rat over here. All kinds of rat attention. So the question is, are the rats that came to the defense male rats? It doesn't specify. Unsure. We're going to sell the rat whiskers. Arbitrary decisions on what to keep and what to sell without any rhyme or reason. A Grick bar kobold. Not just any kobold. A Grick bar kobold. Is that a clan? I bet it's a clan, right? Clan Grick bar? Probably. Alright, I don't see any bats. Lots of kobolds. What I found is that the kobolds don't seem to have any faction, or not that I can tell. How about the Crag warriors? I think I've killed one before, but I don't know what it did as far as faction goes. Let's go ahead and find out. This guy is a warrior, so we may as well slam him every time. So I asked around, and it sounds to me like the warrior is essentially the guardian. So they have the berserker that they have in EverQuest too, but they don't have the guardian. And the warrior is basically the guardian. Oh, right. I meant to check on faction. Yes, okay. So, interesting. Faction with Crag went down by 10, but my faction with Storm Guard went up by 5. Now, maybe I want to keep my faction with Crag up? I don't know. Do I want to talk later on, perhaps, to Crag people? The aviacs? Maybe. I'm gonna be friendly? Maybe. What's this? It looked like a bat, but no bat. Alright, let's see then. What other things might we find over here? I could come up and check out the northeastern sector of this area. There's somebody named Finkel over here. It says baking, and I feel like I went over to him before, and he was not friendly toward me. Wouldn't even trade with me. It's kind of weird. I guess I'm the strange person here because I feel like business is business and personal is personal, right? Like, you know, you don't have to like me. All you have to do is take my money. You know what I'm saying? We don't need to be friends. Above the chemist says, I assumed there would be some bats there. They're generally a staple of newbie zones. I may have led you astray there. Apologies. No problem. It's okay. I'm, getting a little exploring in never hurt anybody. Gotta find out what this stuff's all about, right? What I have learned is that there's a druid circle in the southwest corner of this area, and that Ak'Anon is the name of the newbie starting village here, and that you can actually zone into it. Plus, there are kobolds and a little bit of aviac presence in the northwest. Also, killing gnomes does not affect your faction with anybody. No one cares whatsoever if you kill the decaying gnomes. And female rats seem to encourage other rats, which may or may not be male, to come and attack you. It's unclear. We have it designated if it's a female, apparently. And if it's male, no designation. So, we have to assume, therefore, that the ones that don't have a clearly delineated gender are male, right? Seems to be the way of it. All right, what have we here? We need to go this way. What's this up here at the top with two dots on the map? How do I get that? Run around? Maybe. Okay, there's something here. Nillet Druslet, and he's, this is terrible. We've been attacked by Brona Frogren. No idea who that is, but it seems bad. Oh, it's going very poorly. I think, they're level 35s, unless I cannot heal and I cannot move. It's terrible. Trying my best here. I'm getting some heals in, occasionally. Definitely rooted. That was miserable. All right. So the question is, do I want to spawn? Yeah, you know what? We'll spawn back in the Steamfont Mountains and try again. Now we know something. What we know is those things up there are aggro and they kill us. And there's some kind of gnomes, I think. Not 100% sure, but I think they're gnomes. Named gnomes of death and destruction. All right, level 35 or something. Okay, we're gonna go on this little, I want to call it like a little isthmus. It's not, exactly, but I'm gonna, I guess we're surrounded probably by, I don't know by what. Is it a mountainous region around us? Is that why we're really getting to this one path here? I'm not sure. Maybe. Let's see what we've got over here. Now, in EverQuest 2, there's a little area somewhere out in this region. Cannot think of. Oh, look, a harpy. You don't run across those every day. Oh, a mountain brownie is on me. Hold on now. Let's deal with the mountain brownie first. Got all kinds of interesting things here. What's that? An elemental? Heck yeah. All right. So let's see what we have going over here. Got a steam elemental. All right. First of all, brownie. What have we got done? Brownie's a Faydark's gone down. Nothing went up. But they already hate me, so I'm not too worried about it. We got a little gold off of it. Got a bloodstone from a mountain brownie's corpse. Nice, nice. Okay. I wonder, is the bloodstone the thing that you make the light blood wine or whatever out of? I think there was, I don't know if it was blood wine, blood water? Is that a thing? I think that's a thing. Not sure. Alright, what all do we have over here? What is this? It's an earth elemental. We got some swirling mist. I'm sure that's good for something. It went into the trade skill depot. Cool. Alright. Let's go check out the earth. Will the earth elemental give us anything, fun? Like, could the earth elemental give us, like, chunks of dirt? Maybe we could make that into something, if so. Got a golden earring. Alright. I'm pretty well out of space in the old bags at the moment. Let's see if the golden earring is worth keeping. Probably think so. I'm going to go ahead and sell it. Alright. Onward. We got a rebel clockwork. Let's try him. Now, we did not get any faction change from killing the earth elemental. Let's see if the rebel clockwork gives us anything. Okay, other than just the defective clockwork going down, gave us nothing. Let's see if this spider will attack me. Doesn't seem to. Rogue clockwork spider had no interest in coming after me. Now, how about this harpy? What will it do? Let's root it, and then let's throw a dot on it, and then start hitting it with some of this frost rift here. Seems like a fine plan. One thing I failed to do was check and see if those detriments, or if they put any detriments on it earlier that I could see in the detriment or in the buffs window, whether the temporary or the I mean, I think of it as either temporary or maintained. But unfortunately, they don't seem to think of it the same way because they have Silos Accelerando there. I have no idea. I just don't really understand why that is in my regular buffs window. Okay, so from the Harpy, we didn't get any faction change that I can see. We did get a Harpy wing, and the Harpy wing is not good for anything as far as I can tell. So let's sell it. All right. Well, let's go on, see what else we can find here. What is it up here? Is there going to be some more gnomes who will come and attack me? Possibly. What I was saying earlier is that in EverQuest 2, there's an area. It's like, I cannot think, gnomish security headquarters or something like that is the name of it. The Cobalt Missionary. Oh, he's not a very nice missionary, though. I see the double swords over his head, and I do believe that means he would attack me. What kind of a missionary is attacking random people who didn't even... And he doesn't even know me yet. Maybe I'm coming on a mission of peace. What we have here, Crag Elder, running back to position. So he probably went and killed somebody. Now here's somebody named Chinchilla. Alright. Chinchilla is fighting that. What's this here? Who knows? Let's go in. Looks like little mines. What do we have in the mine? Will it be cobalt? Ooh, that's sketchy. That's a Minotaur Lord, and he's level 29. I suspect that is a place of death. Yeah, let's get out of here before they respawn. Alright, onward. Earth Elemental, various rebel clockworks, and then just Harpies. Yeah, I don't know that I need any of these things. So, I think the only place I haven't checked is over to the southwest, and I don't know, I'm thinking that bats are just not a thing in Steamfont. Which doesn't surprise me because, you know, Steamfont is very clockwork-oriented in EverQuest 2, and it appears to be similarly oriented here. Let's cast these boots since we're on the long run. Another option that was recommended was Caledon, and we can certainly go and check Caledon area. I guess butcher block would be more accurate. Now again, I don't know if butcher block will have anything or not. I know that in EverQuest 2, butcher block has cobalt and let's see, I can't think of the name of them. Let's see, cobalt and I'm drawing a blank. Something else, little critters like that. And also aviacs, and goblins. And again, how similar is this to that? I don't know. But if there are similarities at all, then it won't have any bats, but we'll see. We'll find out. To be fair, a lot of the zones are very different here, both in their well, just in a lot of ways. Their layout, but it's like I don't know how to describe it. The layout is just very different, and the creatures can also be very different. Like for instance, there's rats here in Steamfont. In EverQuest 2, there are not rats in Steamfont. Let's see, let's go this way. There's apparently a guard right up here, so I might want to be somewhat careful. I don't know what level of a guard. And the thing is, does it really matter? Now, what is this? Steamfont spring water? Nice. Okay, so we've harvested up some Steamfont spring water. We've got things in the bags here, taking up space. What might I want to do something with? I wonder if this is a pot of water, so we can combine it. We could. Very nice. So we got Steamfont spring water. That's pretty cool. It does go toward my theory that you can forage different things in different places. Another example of that happening for sure. Okay. Definitely running out of room in the bags, and I really wonder what I can do with these 3 severed heads, because I feel like that's a lot of bag space right there, and if I can turn it into somebody, probably I don't want to go over near this watchman. Should probably head this way at this point. Above, the chemist says, I don't know much about EQ2. Is it set before or after the events of EQ1? It is set after the events. It is after the shattering. And so this was the explanation for why so many of the zones are quite different in EverQuest 2 than in EverQuest 1. So a lot of things, a lot of things happened. Moon blew up and all that, So, it's kind of interesting. The thing is that I don't really know the storyline of EverQuest 1. I only know what I know of it from EverQuest 2's lore. So we're on opposite ends of that spectrum. And I don't really know where EverQuest 1 falls in that either, like in the timeline. I have to stop here because I have to look and see what this person's name is. I must know. It's like, is it a capital I? Are those capital I's, or are they L's? Is it LLII, LLII? Ooh, it's so hard. Okay, LLII, LLI, LIIL. Let's see. Tell. LLII, LLIILIILL. It's like, it looks like a barcode. We'll just say hello. See if it works. Nope, we spelled it wrong, so that was wrong. Let's try again. All right, tell, what if it's an I? So we start ILIILLIILIILL. Hello. Try that. Ha! I did it. Alright, so that's an eye at the start. Above the chemist says, okay. For some reason, I thought EQ2 was actually a prequel. I wouldn't say so. Okay, so here we are. Now, we've got options. Oh, look, there's Castle Mistmoore. So, Castle Mistmoore is pretty high level at, on EverQuest 2. I wonder if it is here as well. Let's watch out because those guys will certainly attack me. Let's go see if we can get over to Castle Mistmoore and just kind of see what's going on over there. I gotta say that I've heard that ogres can see in the dark and stuff, but this has just not been my experience. I went ahead and kept the worn candle simply because I don't really appreciate the darkness of this whole thing. And I feel like I need to get myself like a serious lantern, like a large lantern maybe, something like that. Because it sure is dark around these parts. I don't know if it would help or not, but I feel like it might. A brownie scout. That is a level 39 brownie scout. He's gonna come attack me. It's fine though. I don't mind. Even if he kills me, it's of no consequence. This game... Oh, he's gonna snare me though. That's just rude. So, it was a snare and not a root, but I did get stopped. From it, regardless. The worst part about him killing me is that it's going to slow down my progress toward my goal, I think. So what I'm doing right now is I'm facing him and just trying to heal myself. Now he's killing me faster than I heal myself, so I'm going to ultimately lose this fight. Alright, let's respawn. Let's see where it took me. It did, in fact, take me way across the zone, as I suspected it would. It's my fault for getting seen by him. I did see him running around, and I didn't really care. What have we here? Other than no open spots. What is it? It's, I'm very curious. I don't know. Let's get rid of this servo, rather, and just click destroy over here. And we'll get a little bit of money, maybe, for it. Or not. Apparently, we did not get any money for the micro servo. How sad. Now, what is it we got here? Sylvan berries. That's awesome. I think I can make a kind of drink with that. It's a special kind. Very cool. Very cool. Yes. We can dump this black box fragment too, probably. I don't think I really care about it right now. Might need it later. No big deal. Well, okay, that didn't give me any money either. What a shame, you know? A lot of times you destroy something that does give you some money. Apparently not this time. Alright. Moving on, we're gonna attempt to make it over to Castle Mistmoore. Whoa, what's this? Oh, okay, that's just people talking. Alright. I finally noticed it blinking. Don't know why. I guess, does it blink every time that something is added? Possibly. Okay, here we have a little campfire. Who is hanging out at the campfire? Ooh, orcs are. Lots of orcs. So that one was a warrior, this one's a warrior. This one is also a warrior. And this one is also a warrior. Nice. Alright, we got some more of these sylvan berries, which actually I want to just auto-store. We've got a rusty short sword and another rusty short sword. Now, I don't have a lot of room to be messing around with them right now, so I'm actually just going to sell these. So I'm out of room in the old bags. Alright, so the campfire was fun. Let's continue on toward Castle Mistmoore. Maybe I will not be seen by the brownie scout this time. You never know. Nalia, the merchant. Will she talk to us? Ah, Stonen shouts, Ogre Bard, what is that nonsense? Shout. Let's see, what shall I say to this? I like the beautiful music. Alright, let's see here. Let's see. Castle Mistmoore. What's this? Oh, a monarch Faydark. Okay, I think that's fine. We got, what is this? It's an oracle? Sure. Okay. Oh, Orc Legionnaire is a little sketchy, though. Okay, he's level 20. Can we survive? Maybe. Let's, try putting a little bit of healing on. See if we can take out this oracle. And then we can try focusing on the Legionnaire, who is a warrior. And then get some healing in. And hopefully the dot can do a little bit of damage while we focus on survival. We'll also do some slamming of them occasionally. Occasional slam. So between the two, or three things, maybe we survive this. I think we probably do. We are on difficulty 0 after all. Alright, one more slam, and then we'll move on. Okay, let's get a dot on this Orc Centurion. And then let's do this one here. Both of them are warriors. We can go ahead and auto-merge this. Actually, I think that was a rusty thing. That was foolish. That's okay. Well, I suppose I killed all the things at this particular campfire as well. Moving forward, it looks like we got another campfire coming up a little ways before Castle Mistmoore entrance. So far, I have not seen any bats hanging on. Now look at that, Nybright. Shayla Nybright, the rogue. She looks apprehensive. Now that one won't attack me on sight, right? I can come and just... There's a couple of them. Kayla Nybright as well. Level 12 rogue. We got a little grouping of guys here. They seem friendly enough. Okay. Now what are they? Are they... Somebody told me wood elves have darker skin and such. Is this a wood elf? So there, Nybright. Possibly? No idea. Maybe. Yeah? I don't want to attack them anyway. Let's move on toward presumably, Castle Mistmoore. Okay, what do we got? We've got a Faydark. We've got a tree. All right. What is this? Don't know. Just some standing stones, looks like. All right. Well then, how do we get in here? This way? Through this this little opening? Ah, White Owl says, Nybrights are wood elf rogues used in a quest. Nice. Above the chemist said, I have no idea that you could heal yourself without having to target yourself first. That is quite a nice piece. Sure, you can target through your target, if that makes sense. Target. Through the target. How how do I explain this? So like whatever your target is targeting, you can also target. I think it may be in the settings to do that. You may can turn that on and off. I'm not sure. I had looked initially. So use implied healing. See that right there? Um, so when this option is enabled, beneficial spells cast on an NPC will hit the NPC's target if it's friendly instead of casting on yourself. So if that guy had been targeting someone else, then I would have healed that person instead. Now you should be able to probably make a macro, I would think, to target yourself and heal yourself. So you could maybe, I mean, I haven't messed with it much yet on this game, but at least in EverQuest 2 certainly can. So you could potentially, have another version of light healing on your bar that would target you, and then that's rather nasty right out the gate. But yes, so everything is red except for this one dude who's yellow. So they're barely red to me. I might could make a little progress in here. Possibly. I'd be doing like this dude, just, yeah. We could do the same thing as him. Level 14. He's making it. Let's see. Let's heal him. Yeah. And then let's run out. White Owl says having F1 used to target yourself. Yeah, it still does. Yeah, whenever I'm buffing up, I have to hit F1 to be able to cast the buffs on myself. So yeah, all right, we don't want to hang out in there right now because that guy is slowly trying to make his way in, and I wouldn't want to interfere with that. Probably I could do it in the same manner. You pull one, you drag him back, you fight, and I suspect I could get through it that way. And that would be an entertaining thing to do. But right now, gotta find some bats. Now this is interesting over here, though. I see these brownie merchants. Now I've been doing bad things to my faction with the brownies. I don't know if the brownies possibly maybe already hated me. Who knows? Probably almost everything does. Whoa, what did I just kill that changed my faction with something? The Sky Talons. I really wasn't paying attention. Was that a fate? I think that was a fate thing. Whatever the Sky Talons are, I just hurt my faction with them. What a sad day. Above the chemist says totally makes sense, and thanks for pointing out the toggle in the options. I probably glossed over it when I was setting the options. I definitely recommend it. Yeah, if you've got some healing you're going to be doing. White Owl says bats. Butcher Block has bats. Butcher Block does. Interesting. I may head that way momentarily. I'm going to come check out these brownie merchants real quick. Yeah, I had actually intended to go check Butcher Block next, as per suggestion by above the chemist there. Now I'm a little. I don't think that I want to go very near these guys because it looks like we've got a whole fairy enclave here. Like, these are mushroom rings for sure, and I got them all on me. Oh my gosh. Alright, this is no good. Well, no sense in running, really. May as well die instead. Let's go for it. Yep, there it was. Alright, well that's a nice easy way to get to where we're going. Why don't I spawn in the Greater Faydark, and then we can run over to Butcher Block easily now. Alright, nice way to gate on over, huh? Alright. Oh, that was not as close as I was hoping. That's okay though. Run to the southeast. Now, because I've been killing primarily gray things and haven't really been worried about it, I have not put my buffs on in a couple of days now, I think. So we're just running around with only the temporary things. I didn't check again to see if I could see any of the detriments on me. Other than right above my name here, I don't know where to see the detriments. Tried to find a way to do that. Thus far, I've not been able to. I feel like there should be a window similar to these, like the temporary buffs and the maintained buff window over there. There should be one for detriments, and that's something that I would very much like to have. Unfortunately, I haven't seen it yet, and certainly I had one on me whenever I was snared, whenever I was rooted, whenever I was stunned. You would think that there would have been a detriment associated there too, but I have failed to find it. Okay, got butcher block down here to the right. So next stop. The real question is why, when I was running through Greater Faydark right now, I wasn't really searching for bats, which I know, I know there are bats here. So why did I not kill them along the way? That's how it is when you're me. I'm telling you, the way that these corners work here in this game, it's very much like Labyrinth when, Sarah's going through the maze. There's turns all over the place. Can't see them. That's how I am. Cannot see these turns. That was interesting. Let's see. So there is nothingness beyond this wall. Interesting. All right, here we are. Butcher block. And I wanted to come here too to see how badly the Kaladin folks still hate me. So here we have a giant bat. Very nice. A little bit out of range, so we'll get a little bit closer. This is looking very promising. I appreciate the bat's presence. I see two already. Okay, got that one. Oh, you know what though? These are going to give us giant bat fur, I bet you, instead of the regular bat fur. Goblin whelp. I wonder what killing the goblins gives you faction with. I'm sure it gives you faction with something. So I need the non-giant bats, primarily. I'm going to go ahead and kill these just in case. There's a regular bat. Heck yeah. Alright, that's what I'm talking about right there. Okay, got that guy. I'll go ahead and kill the giant ones too, but I don't know that they're going to give me what I need. Looks like there are plenty of regular sized bats though, so good times. Alright, see another one over here. Very nice. Probably a goblin will eventually attack me, and then I'll see what the faction situation looks like there. Let's get that bat. And then I want to get this one that's flying by. Alright. Where else might I find some bats? I should check and see how my bat fur is looking. I have 5 of them. I only recently discovered that there are, in fact, some things on the ground that you can pick up. I don't know how long there have been things on the ground that I was just unaware you could grab. But there definitely are some that you can pick up. And what's this over here? This looks like an ogre. Is it? It's a fellow ogre named Zarchumi. Pretty nice. Zarchumi the ogre. I guess I'll stick a new dot on that guy for whatever reason. I also am very interested in the skunks because I feel like surely there's something we can do with skunk glands, right? And I think, I'm thinking of maybe like a chemist could have something there, right? All right, now there's no map here, which is a bit of a problem, but it's not the worst thing in the world. I can run around and just randomly go places. Now, I think maybe Kaladin is to the west, but that may not be right. I can't recall. White Owl says skunk glands were an old-style rogue poison component back in EQ1 when rogues had to brew their poisons. Very nice. That's what I was kind of hoping for. Can only rogues make poisons? If that's the case? Or can anybody make them and only rogues can use them? Rogues are definitely great for the DPS. I guess I better kill these things before I check and see if those guys were aggro to me or not. Okay, there's no crossed blades, which is promising. They regard me indifferently. What that means is they will communicate with me and such. If I right-click on this guy, will he attack me? I don't know. Let's see. No, he didn't. Great. All right, this is tiny. There's no getting in there. There's just no way that I can get in there at all. I don't think. I mean, okay. Crouched. We're trying desperately. Even the door trick is not working. It's just, I don't think I can get in there. What a shame. That is not an orc-friendly, oh no, an ogre-friendly location. Let's see here. White Owl says, yes, only rogues can make poisons, but anyone can use them. How cool is that? EQL changed rogue poisons to a discipline. Not sure you can make them anymore. Interesting. Well, what's this here? It's a little goblin place. We got a flag flying. Goblin warrior hanging out. Very close to the dwarves over there. And there's another player. I wonder where I'm at and where I'm going. We've got a little hut over here, a little tent. Is it more goblins? I don't see a flag flying on this one. Maybe not. I don't know. All right. Got some scarabs over here. Is this the direction of the docks? No, it's not, I don't think. I think that's more to the east. I've only been here to the docks one time. This is looking like crag plumes. We've got some guards. They don't like me one bit. Ready to attack. So rude. But why? What did I ever do to them? Let's see if we can go this way. What are they guarding? Let's get that skunk just in case we can make some poison someday. Okay. Crag chick. We don't want to kill the little fella right now. See what we've got over here. It's a little picture. I don't know how I feel about it. He looks unhappy. Oh no. This side looks equally unhappy. Well, alright. White Owl says I had an 87 rogue in Q1. Loved him. Cool. What is this? Port Faydark. So I was going toward the port, and it is to the west and not to the east. Interesting. Okay. Let's go click on some boxes. I didn't hang out here previously. I just ran through here because I was on a great mission to get to my my group mates, or my group mate in that case. So what kind of... Okay, he has a single sword. That doesn't bode well. I don't like things with swords over their heads. They tend to want to kill me. Okay, this one's a warrior named Thar Kelgund. Let's hail him. Well, he has nothing that he wants to say to me. Rude. How about this dude? Magnus Boren. All right, Magnus. Nothing. Nothing. That's just, yeah, I don't know what to think about it. Now, another thing is, I haven't tried to fish from these docks either. I wonder if there's, and that's another thing. I wonder if some fishing spots are better than others. So say if I came over here, over to this nice little, like the pier over there by the boat, where the boat goes in and out. Would that be a better place to fish than say just off the shore? Or would we get a different kind of fish? Ah, they hate me so much, all of them. Well, let's see if I can hail him. Will he talk to me? No, he has no interest. I bet this guy won't either. Balin Coggoon. He has a little, some sort of a symbol over his head. Looks like a throwing star or something. Um, hmm. He says, I'm sure you're looking for the best tackle around. You've come to the right place already. I've got everything you'll need to catch yourself a whopper. Now, does that mean he'll trade with me? Ah, right click him and nothing happens. I left click him and nothing happens. So is this just, is this the spot? Is this where we should fish from? Let's stand right here, right beside him, and try fishing. Okay, so we'll trade out fishing rod for our primary weapon and then give it a go. I personally don't think this is going to be the best. Ah, we cast a line trying to catch land sharks, perhaps? Apparently I am. Yes, indeed. Apparently I am. But it let me cast my line. Would it do that if I was, like, solidly on land? I don't know. Let's try. Let's move back. Let's fish from here. It does let me cast my line. Huh. Interesting. Okay. So let's get a little nearer, but still very close to him. Try again. Okay. It seems to still think that I'm on land, maybe? Interesting. I don't feel like I'm on land at that point, but maybe I am. Look at that fish, though. That's a heck of a fish. He's rather large, so my ogre's quite big. This thing is significantly larger than this dwarf is. This fish is pretty good sized. All right, let's go out this way onto this. We can go out onto the longer pier. And we're also going to click on these barrels as we go by just in case they have anything. And the sconce. Well, right. Why not? Let's click on the little sconce there. All right. Here we have Galoran Binfer. Let's hail him. He says, pleasure to meet you. Keep your eye out for the ship. You don't want to miss it. Well, maybe I do and maybe I don't. We'll decide that later. Let's just do a little fishing. Can I fish from here? White Owl says, need to kill more goblins to raise your dwarf faction or Cushbone works. Yes. And I did raise my Kaladin faction, I think. Let's see here. / faction. Let's press fish. Okay. So my standing maybe it's pretty good. So the Storm Guard is amiably. Are these not the Storm Guard? I feel these are the Storm Guard, right? But I mean, dwarves. I don't know. What are dwarves? I don't see something that's just called dwarves, or like Kaladin. The Crushbone orcs. They're not very happy with. But we've got all kinds of different names here, and I have no idea what faction they are. So it's a problem that I've run into. But if they are the Storm Guards, and the Storm Guards may be the High Elves and stuff, I'm not sure. But I'm doing pretty well with them. 15 points to kindly, it's not too bad. And that's one of the things that I get faction for whenever I kill or faction with whenever I kill the Crushbone orcs, definitely. I feel like just drinking this bottle of Kalish, because I don't really know what to do with it, and it's sort of just taking up room in my bags. Maybe not a good idea. I don't know. I think I am going to move. Well, that was interesting. I accidentally switched out my fish with my jar there. My big plan had been to move the jar up here so that it was eaten first and would be out of my bag soonest. It's not how it went. Let's combine these fish though and have a little bit more room. There we go. That's a bit better. Okay, so I did get stonefish here. I don't think that I've gotten stonefish anywhere else, and that makes sense to me because Caladim, dwarves, stonefish, right? I think that's the rationale there. Maybe. I don't know. Can I fish while the boat is here? Let's check. Or will it tell me I'm on land now? White Owl says Caladim is dwarf, right? Above the commit says, I think Kazan Stormhammer is one of the dwarf factions. White Owl says Bottle of Kalish is used in the Paw of Opala quest. Now, wait a minute. Paw of Opala somehow is familiar to me, that term. And I wonder if it's, I wonder if it's a reward in EverQuest 2 or something like that. I kind of almost feel like it is. White Owl says D&D Adam. Okay, yes, that might be why it's familiar also. Not sure. All right. I've done enough fishing for the moment, I feel. I just kind of wanted to see what I might find in here that's different than in the other places. An aqua goblin warrior has come out of nowhere to attack me. No idea where he came from. All right. That's the way it's got to be. I guess it's the way it's got to be, right? Now, the problem is I don't have a weapon equipped at the moment in my primary. Can I do it? I can do it during battle. How cool is that? All right. Cool. Someone had also asked me if I'm able to use Frenzy without having a two-handed weapon. And I can say that yes, I definitely can and do use Frenzy with dual wielding. I don't know if I would be able to do it with a one-handed or not, like just one-handed, like sword and board. I don't know if I'd be able to Frenzy. But with two weapons, or apparently with fishing rod and a weapon, I am able to do that. So there's the answer. Look at that, an arrow. I've never had an arrow drop before. That's new and different. Is that a bow? A bow and an arrow. Well, perfect, because I have two spots and I have two lovely new things. Now, can I use a bow and arrow? That's a new question for me. Let's do this. It's red. That implies to me that I cannot. But you would think that a bard could use a bow and arrow, but maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, apparently not. I'm seeing warrior, paladin, ranger, shadow knight, and rogue can use the hunting bow. How super cool, though. I wonder then. Okay, it's also a quest item, and as far as I can tell, it's tradable. So theoretically, I could give it to my ranger friend, and she could use the bow and the arrow. Very cool. Very cool. All right. Not sure why the Aqua Goblin came and attacked me. Now, Aqua Goblins are in Butcher Block in EverQuest 2 as well, but they're out in the water. Is there anything out in the water here? I don't know. Let's check. Is there anything under the water? See now? I have to know. Apparently I needed to get my swimming up anyway. It doesn't really look to me like there's going to be anything out here. But if I just swam off into the distance, what would happen? Where would it take me? White Owl says you can beat goblins with a fishing pole, but it's very inefficient. Yes, I was working on it apparently. Okay, okay, hold on. We got the boat there. I don't really see a lot out this way. We've got some land this direction. I guess I could swim this way. I didn't see anything underwater, and using the tab to click around, I'm not finding anything either. It's kind of crazy how little there is in this water. I would be very concerned if I lived in this area and you go into the water and there is nothing there. I mean, there's not fish, there's not any kind of sea life, and this is including like, there's no algae, there's no plant life of any kind. I would be very concerned about the water in this area. Like, what are these dwarves doing to the water? Now, what's interesting is I was able to fish up some things. Are they invisible? That's the other question. Are they invisible in water? Like, you can see them when you pull them out, but when they're in the water, not. Or maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's something that the water is doing to us because we're in the water. Maybe it is having an effect on our ability to see things. It appears to be completely devoid of life when in fact it's teeming with life. There's tons of it. In fact, I'm going to go so far as to say I didn't get a single tattered cloth sandal during my fishing here. I found the aqua goblins. Now, was there a way to just walk over here? Or did we have to swim? Aqua goblins. What's interesting is, though, they're very low level aqua goblins. Oh, he's attacking me. How cool. Level, what is he? Okay, he's a level 5 guy. Just decided he would be very bold and come at me. Look at that, another arrow. Who knew? Cool. I like it. Alright. We've got a marauder over here. There's another flag. Let's run by and see what all attacks me. Okay, got a couple on us just from a little run through. Alright. One of them was the one that I had targeted. Coincidence? No idea. Alright, our arrow is... So wait, no, wait a minute. The arrow is merging. What, I'm very curious about that. I mean, do we just have one arrow? I'm confused. So they're not stacking. They're merging. Okay, what's up with this guy here? Tagnus Ginfar. It says, he kindly considers me. Well, cool. I like that. Now, wait a minute. Is he then one of the Storm Guard people, maybe? Tagnus Ginfar. He has that little symbol over his head. I don't know. It's like a throwing star. Let's hail him. He doesn't talk to me. There's nothing to say. Too bad. At least we're friends. White Owl says EQ1 came out in 1999, so there's not a lot of graphics processing power in most home PCs, so they limited a lot of underwater stuff except for Dagnor's Cauldron. All you need is one arrow now and EQL, not a whole quiverful. Interesting. Above, the chemist says, do you still stream EQ2? If so, any plans to stream it during the week after the EQL beta /before official EQL launch? I very well may. If I do, it will probably be on the Origins server and possibly on the free trade server, the Wuoshi server, just because I made a character there recently, but probably Origins. So yes, I would like to get some streaming in on that. I again, really enjoy EQ2 quite a bit. Now we have these little tiny houses that ogres can't go in. Can I target the guy in there? Probably. I can just get the right kind of angle here. Hold on, let's zoom in. And then try to back up, perhaps. I know there's a guy in there. There he is. All right, all right. Can we target him? We can target him. His name is Fuvun Mumfur. Let's hail him. Nothing. Got nothing from old Fugu. Fugan. Fugan Mumfur. Too bad. How about this guy? Okay, who we got here? I see him. Okay, Lan, is it? Okay, got there. Lan Dabbledrin. Lan Dabbledrin. We can hail him. But let's see, what if I get closer? Maybe of this. Nah, nothing. He doesn't like me. It's too bad. Consider him. Regards me indifferent. Okay. I suppose. Alright, what else might be over here in these parts? And this looks like an anvil. Yes, smithy hammer and an anvil. And that ought to be a forge, but we can't use it. What a shame. Above the commit says, cool, I'm interested to learn about EQ too, so I'll keep an eye on it. Absolutely. Yeah, that's a fun game. Like I said, very different than this. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about when you see it. It's surprisingly different. What have we out here? We've got Goblin Marauder again. It's kind of interesting that the yellow one, the only yellow goblin guy that I've seen here thus far, just came at me while I was standing on the dock. Very weird. All right, so nothing happening out here at the edge of the world. How about this way? Yeah, nothing so far. And I may just zone into somewhere at some point because in this game, we don't have really clearly designated zone lines. So you just sort of are running along and then very suddenly you're zoning. It's how it's been going. And it's like that in the Faydark areas in EverQuest 2 as well. The first time it happened was very surprising. It was very interesting. So here we have a dwarf skeleton hiding behind a huge stone. But I have these. Are they sylvan berries? No, they're not. They look a little different. They don't stack. This is a rusty dagger. I can just toss the rusty dagger. I would prefer to break it down into ore, but I'll toss it for now. Destroy it, sure. Absolutely sure. Now, we did get paid for that one. You notice the other stuff we didn't get paid for, but this we got 2 silver and 1 copper for. What is it we've gathered here? It is vine cleaner berries. I don't know. I'm sure there's probably going to be used in a food or drink recipe, but I haven't seen them before. So yes, I think it's very safe to say that foraging in different places gives you different things. Very cool, very cool. And fishing as well, so get a little variety there as we go along. Alright, what am I doing? Just attacking a dwarf skeleton for no reason, apparently. And from that, we've gotten a cloth choker. I'm just gonna sell it. I don't have room in my bags for that kind of thing right now. Okay. So, there was nothing entertaining in that little area except for that tribal stone. I wouldn't be surprised if it's involved in a quest. I don't know anything about the quests really in this game. I just know a couple from Ogok And then I'm learning them a little bit in Kellethan, and by them, I mean basically the one where I can go get faction merchants. I've got that down pat. I won't go so far even as to say I have that down pat, honestly, because I have trouble finding the Emerald Warriors Guild. But it's, yeah, at least I know what to bring to the guy. So there's that. We have a tree that's kind of growing off of nothing. It's invisible. Look at that. We can just walk right under and into, and look, it's gone. Oh, it's there, and now it's gone. Huh. Very, very interesting. All right. It's a floating tree. All right. This way, I saw someone else running this direction. That's interesting. I wonder if they too were investigating the area. All right. Can we get a little height? What is this? Can I get over to it? Doesn't look like it. It's not gonna let me. What a shame. It's a large pillar. If only I had safe ball, I could have been getting it up. But alas. Oh. This is looking promising. Okay, where are we at? We're at Butcher Block. What could this be? It's very, very filled with skeletons. We got a dwarf skeleton outside. We've got skeletons just all over the place. 2 dwarf skeletons outside. And it's a tower of some kind. Let's back up so we can view it a little better. Okay, so it's just like a... it's an obelisk. I'll just enter the obelisk. Well, I guess I was hoping for more in here. Let's kill the dwarf skeleton. Maybe that'll do something. Could it be some kind of a ring event, maybe? Or is it just a location that we would need to know for some kind of a quest at some point? I'm going to try killing all of the skeletons in the area and see if that does anything. It spawns anything or anything really. Alright. I'm not quite close enough. There we go. Alright. So. Again, there's really not anything going on in here, I'm afraid. It's too bad because it's such a cool little building. What could it be? Where are we at? Let's see. /LOC. If I can get my fingers on the right buttons, it's going to be grand. LOC. There we are. Okay, location is negative 1,537.25, 839.24, 3.54. So, at some point, maybe we'll find out more about that, and then we'll know where it's at. Now look at that full moon over there. That is nice. I mean, cool, huh? Let's see. If I zoom in, and we can remove the background. What a nice little scene, huh? I like it. Let's do a print screen. There we go. Screenshots for the win. Okay. Now, get off of there and get back out of first person. All right, moving forward. What more might we have over this area? Certainly some trees. In Butcher Block in EverQuest 2, we don't really have the live trees. We've got some dead trees. Not as much for the living ones. I'll notice too, this is definitely not the area for bats. Okay, we've got, oh, Zartumi is still over there. I think. ADAFJ. Now, the fun part is, I don't actually know how to get back to Greater Faydark. I might could figure it out. Probably figure it out. Let's see what the goblins do. What kind of faction do we get? Because I looked earlier and now I've already forgotten. That's how my brain works. Occasionally. Oh, here we are. Alright. Faction standing with Picklog goblins went down. Guardians of the Veil went up by 5. And King Zorb went up by 5. Now, King Zorb, I feel, is almost certainly an evil eye. They all have names like that. So I think it's an evil eye, and it's going to be in what we in EverQuest 2 call Enchanted Lands. But my understanding is that for you guys, you got Misty Thicket, and you've got Running Eye, and you've got Rivervale, but you don't have Enchanted Lands. So, got a giant bat on not on track, but just in sight over here. Let's get him. And then did the pot of water. The pot of water did appropriately go in its slot. That's very nice. Yeah, so, giant bat it is. Okay. Like I said, I don't know that the giant bat is going to come into play so much. I think I really just need the regular bat for the bat for that I'm looking for. Does that say a troll? No. Isbal Bright Blaze. Did I see her earlier? Possibly. Let's check her out. Glowers at you dubiously. But I don't see any, I don't see any swords, so that's promising. Okay. Let's go this direction a little bit. Got an emerald drake here. Dwarf skeleton, yes, alright. You got what's this? This is a goblin. And there's a bat, that's more like. Okay. And I also feel like we must be approaching Greater Faydark. Let's see, where am I at? Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we need to head west. Maybe not. Let's follow this path and see where we get. This appears to be going into somewhere. Notice when it narrows down like this, it means you're going to be zoning. It's a word from Sacred Phoenix. Have you heard the word? It is Greater Faydark. Wonderful. Alright. Exactly where we wanted to go. There goes Brewbor. Nice name. Alright. So we made it back to the Greater Faydark, where there are a few bats hanging around down to the southeast. So we'll head east, and then I'll have to go here pretty soon because I have not eaten yet today, and it is 2 p.m. So, at some point, I'll probably need to do that. But we're gonna get a few bats maybe anyway on the way. I haven't gotten a single. Well, wait. Maybe I've gotten one bat per day. I'm not sure. I feel like I maybe haven't, but maybe I have. Not more than one though, for sure. And I'll need to hit the bank because I'm pretty I mean, I'm completely out of inventory space, so feels like it's probably the best idea to go to the bank. And offload some of this stuff, you know? But I'll have to do that when I get back because, well, as mentioned, food is essential of the essence. These, I really feel like these are the same as in EverQuest 2 to some degree. Like these are wizard spires. Clearly they're wizard spires, right? And I keep seeing people standing in them, and I don't know if the wizards have to stand in them in order to use them to go from one place to another or not. But I feel like there's a possibility that that is the case. I'm not 100% sure, obviously, but it feels possible. I did not go over to Lesser Faydark to look for. No, I did go over to Lesser Faydark, and I didn't go necessarily look for bats, but I ended up pretty much going all over the entire thing. I don't think that there were any bats there at all. There were some other guys, but not bats. And Steamfont was completely devoid of bats. Here we have a few bats, and certainly in Butcherblock Mountains, right on the other side of here, we had some bats as well. So there's a possibility that I could kill bats here, and then hop over there, kill bats there, and kind of go back and forth to finish this out at some point. And of course, another thing I should do is pretty consistently pop over to Felwithe and check with that dude there and see if he has any bat fur to sell, because of course they sell whatever is traded into them, and sometimes that is that stuff. We have some berries, which is nice. We don't have room for berries, which is not nice. So, what might I want to sell is the question, in order to have rooms for these berries. So definitely do want the berries. You know, tattered gloves. Why not? Let's sell some tattered gloves. Let's go over here and destroy these. And we got 1 gold and 7 copper. Probably could have done better, but that's alright. Might even could have come over here and zoned in to Felwithe and traded out for those tattered gloves and done it that way. That probably would have been a good idea. That's alright. You know, we'll just do it this way. Sure. It'll be fine. I just really wanted to see if you had any bat fur more than anything else. Let's see. Lenodin, my good friend. What have you? Any bat fur? No bat fur. What a shame. Alright. Well then. Fine. Be that way. You need your bat fur anyway. Alright. Nothing there that I really necessarily need. So, I think that I'm going to go ahead and call it for now. And go get some food. And if I get a chance to get back in later today, I will. But if not, then I'll definitely try again tomorrow. It's been a pleasure streaming with you guys, and hopefully I'll see you all then. If you're not following me, be sure to follow me and turn on notifications so that you can see the next time that I go live. Hopefully I'll see you all then. Have a good day.